New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. All right, so this is pretty much where I'm at on this topic because magically it's like nothing else is getting talked about in the music industry, as if nothing else is going on. Any other celebrities, some type of cheating scandal, some type of anything, right? That is basically going on. DUI, drunk driving, drugs, gun possession, right? It's like nothing else is going on. And the main thing that I'm focused on is that, all right, so DaBaby said what he said, right? People can either agree or disagree. People can either be in their feelings or not in their feelings. So after that, he gave one apology, right? Magically, that didn't suffice. Magically, that wasn't enough. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to give another apology. And he sat up there and gave a second apology. And still, going by social media, going through especially Twitter, the emotions running on that is crazy. So on Twitter, you still got a whole bunch of people saying like, "Oh, that apology isn't enough. He didn't write that. He didn't really mean that," and all this other stuff. So for all of those out there that were offended by what DaBaby stated, you mean to tell me that every single celebrity that has ever stated anything right against your group, you mean to tell me that they 100% meant that? I can promise you they didn't. They said all of those things just to save their money so that they won't get canceled, so that they don't have to go through this. But yet, you still decided to sit up there and believe whatever it is that they were specifically saying at that moment in time that allowed them to save their career and still make movies, which you still decided, right, to view, to go to get on pay-per-view, to rent at a Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, or whatever it was, because I'm stretching this far back, right? You still decided to, view whatever it is, and it's still your favorite actor or whatever and whatnot, right? But magically, DaBaby, right? Somebody who this community really does not even listen to, um, decided to get up in arms, and they got all their people together and was like, you know what? We're going to sit up there and cancel him no matter what apology he gives, no matter how many times he does it, right? Because, like I said, this is a bullying tactic. If somebody apologizes, that means that guess what? They apologized. But oh no, 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 no. When it specifically deals with a certain segment within America, magically an apology isn't enough. It just isn't, for whatever reason. A second apology just isn't enough. So when he was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I've apologized enough times. I said everything that I have to basically say on it. He takes down the apology, which he has the right to do, right? It doesn't, in a sense, really mean anything. He just wanted to sit up here and take it down. He was like, all right, well, I did apologize. This was up here for a minute. For those of you who wanted to accept it, all right, good. I got you. No problem. And for those who didn't, well, you just didn't. Because at this point for him, he's like, yo, nothing is good enough. It don't matter what I'm going to sit up here and say. You're still going to have these issues. You're still going to say whatever you want to say online. And, people are still going to want to quote unquote cancel him. And now they magically want to speak out against him and, all of this other stuff, right? And this is my problem here. Problem number one, you got Ed Buck, who was a part of the very same community, and he decided that he wanted to specifically target black men who have drug problems and who are also homeless. And he took the lives of two black men. This is what he did. But yet, if you go through and you look at all of the Twitter accounts of the individuals, right, who are speaking out against DaBaby and what he stated, you might notice some similarities when it comes to skin complexion from Ed Buck to the ones who are complaining about DaBaby. And, I find it hilarious that a lot of those individuals on Twitter and other social media platforms are only speaking out against DaBaby and what he specifically stated, because magically they wanted to take that personal, as if, let's say HIV and other types of diseases are predominantly and only specifically, right, counting towards a certain segment and group in society, which it is not. Because the most interesting thing about that is, when it comes to HIV and AIDS, when it hit the African American community and when it was affecting people in the African American community, you didn't hear all of these people trying to claim it, sitting up there saying like, oh no, this, this is us, this only has to do with us. And that, they weren't saying that. They were like, whoo, all right, well, I'm glad the spotlight is off of us. Let's continue having parties and, doing what it is that we normally like doing, which, put us in the very same circumstances as before, and is going to put us back in there again, right? They decided that they didn't want to speak out for the African American community. They wanted to look away from the topic, didn't really sit up there and care, because it was like, oh, well, it's those groups of people. So, the African American community can, decide what they're going to do about that one, right? But now when it comes to DaBaby and what he specifically stated supernaturally, it's time to get up in arms. It's time to cause a ruckus. It's time to cause an issue. But yet the same exact people had nothing to say about these two black men who had their lives taken, who were tricked, who were used, and who were abused by a man who has power and ties to political officials. Isn't that something? They're silent on that. They didn't cause an outrage about this. They weren't writing to their political officials and saying that, oh no, we don't want this person doing a TED Talk. We don't want this person on CNN. We don't want this person on MSNBC. We don't want this. They weren't doing none of that because they did not care. Why didn't they care? Because this had to do specifically with black people in the black community who were specifically being targeted by this individual. They didn't care. They didn't care. And this is where we are. This is the media machine, or at least a piece of it. If you go on social media, if you go on Twitter, Instagram, or what have you, you will see a variety of these platforms talking about DaBaby and, oh, look at this, DaBaby, he took down his apology to the community after he said such, harsh and ridiculous things that he had no business saying. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, right? This is the Coliseum. This is what it looks like. They tell you when to get angry. They tell you when to get sad. They tell you when to cry. They tell you when to laugh. They tell you when to be happy. They tell you what celebrities to like. They tell you what celebrities not to like. And at this moment in time, the system that we are in is telling you specifically not to like DaBaby, that you should specifically be offended, even if you are not a part of that community, because you might have somebody in your family. You should be offended enough to be offended for them. And you should not like this artist because of what he stated. Now, isn't it amazing how you've had a variety of individuals who don't look anything like DaBaby, who has said a lot of things against the black community and to the black community, but yet you don't hear a lot of these outlets sitting up there saying like, yeah, don't like this person, don't like this person, yeah. You know what they start doing? They start playing violins and telling you, oh, this person is really sorry. They're really working on trying to become a better person. You should really like this person. You should really have sympathy. You should really feel sorry for this person because of their ignorance and, their lack of knowledge. Like I said before, whenever those types happen to give an apology, magically it's always heartfelt. And then you go on Twitter and you see people yet again who are not even reflective of DaBaby sitting up there saying like, oh, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's prone to, tripping up every once in a while. Don't let this one thing define who this person is. Let's give this person a second chance to do better and to learn from their mistakes. That's what they state whenever somebody wants to, use any type of slurs towards the black community. But if DaBaby right, just so happens to do the same thing, right? He slipped up, he tripped up, he made a mistake. Magically, those same individuals are not willing to really accept his apology, nor are they willing to actually give him a second chance. Isn't that interesting? And it should also yet again show you how much power certain groups actually have over other people. Because this is what it looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. You see one black man being polarized all across America, all across the world. And they're trying to make it seem as though he is the definition of a black man that is against a certain community. That's basically the message that they're trying to give and show. When realistically, that's not even the case. That's not even the case. And that's not even who he is. But yet, this is the story and the portrayal that the media wants to show you and the world. And this is why you have other celebrities now trying to speak out against DaBaby. Why? Because not because they realistically care, but because it's the hot thing to do. And also because it's the image of a strong, masculine black man that is out there that they want to automatically condemn, vilify, criminalize, and destroy at the end of the day. That's it. That's exactly what this media campaign is. And for a lot of people not to be able to see it, stay asleep. Stay asleep. Because beyond this, there's actually some other stuff coming that is going to be very, very interesting. I can't, talk about it here on YouTube because YouTube gets pretty sensitive, about certain things when you happen to bring it up. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.